Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk to you guys about some questions that I've been hearing that a lot of people are answering in their own way. A lot of people at this stage in life want to know why they're having trouble manifesting their desires. You hear all types of things on the internet, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you tune into, you're going to hear something about manifesting. But I stay in the comment section, y'all, because somebody in the comment section may say something that's going to help, along with the video, not to take anything away from what people produce out here. But what I found for myself, when I typically manifest things easier, is when I let it go, when I don't worry about the outcome, when it takes work. The Bible says faith without works is dead. So some people think in terms of work, hard work, getting out there hustling, sweating real hard. That's a form of work, but work is also writing it out, taking time out of your day to supplicate, to write out your desires, to be present in the moment, to see yourself in the realm of your wish fulfilled or your desire fulfilled. And just a little side note, we've heard it said plenty of times that we only use 10% of our mental ability. 10%, right? But that's all it takes to manifest your desire out here. If you have faith the size of or as a grain of a mustard seed, anything that you desire will come to fruition. It may not happen exactly the way you want it. It may not be exactly what you want, but if you pray and you ask in accordance to the will of God, and you're not breaking any, how can I say it, like laws, so to speak. Like, I'm not going to pray for somebody else's husband. If I'm married, he's married. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pray that it's in divine order and that no one is hurt or harmed in the aspects of me getting what I desire. So I'm going to ask out of a clear, clean conscience as best I can. I'm going to write it out. I'm going to look at that thing. Okay, so let's get a little biblical one more time. Daniel prayed 3 times a day. I don't know what he prayed for exactly all the time, but I tend to look at my list maybe once, twice, 3 times a day just to get, any doubt out of my mind, because typically, we can plant the seed of faith. We can have it as a grain of a mustard seed and we can still have doubt. But, just like there was a story in the Bible where there was a centurion that wanted his daughter to be healed. And he said, I believe, but help thou my unbelief. We may have doubt that'll creep in and just wash away all the hard work that we put in with supplicating, praying in accordance to God's will, visualizing it, using our imagination to hone in on what we truly desire, taking the steps that may come from directed inspiration. It may come just from an inspiration, from a thought that may cross your mind. It's like, okay, inspired action. You may hear, okay, walk across the street at 3 o'clock. I can't tell you how you hear from God. I don't know how you get signs from God, the universe, whatever you believe in your heart. But there's a law to things. Just like what goes up must come down. There's a law of gravity. There's a law of comeback. There's a law of reaping and sowing. There's a law, seed time and harvest. Some people can manifest overnight. Me, sometimes things take time. Like, okay, I remember I was believing for a piano for my house, my first house, by the way. I have one in my house now, but my very first home, I wanted a piano. And I was barely making ends meet. I didn't even have furniture, I don't believe. I might have had furniture I don't remember at the time when and I let the thought cross my mind. I didn't write it out. I didn't supplicate. I didn't even pray about it. It was just like, I want a piano. And I let the thought go. And I believed in my heart I was going to get one. I didn't know. I wasn't even specific on the type that I wanted. Days later, I kid you not, a good childhood friend called me and said, "Hey, Sandy, do you want a piano for your kids? It's in great shape. I just can't use it right now." This thing was beautiful. I'm talking cherry wood. It looked brand spanking new. It was a spinet. And I set it right in my living room. And I looked at it and I'm like, I just let the thought. So I tried it again. I was like, I want a Jack Russell, purebred Jack Russell dog. I let the thought flee from me. Within days, I go over to visit my brother-in-law's mom. I was on duty. I don't know what led me to go over there just to say hi to her because I was in her neighborhood. Here it is, a Jack Russell dog at the front door. Cute, still kind of a puppy like. And I looked at him and I'm like, "Oh, your dog is so cute." She said, "Do you want him?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I was learning that some things take time, some things are easier, some things are already in your vortex waiting for you to want them. I believe that dog wanted me to want him. So I got him, y'all. Be careful what you pray for. I got this dog and he was bad as bad. So I prayed that he went to a good home, and a friend of mine called and said, "Hey, you know, how's your Jack Russell? I'm thinking about getting one." I said, "Hey, before you go any further, do you want mine? He's still a puppy. He's sweet. You know, but he just tore my house up. And I worked too many hours to keep that thing, but he was a doll baby." So that was one instance of things coming kind of quick, just on a fleeting thought. But when it was, I believe it was my belief, and things that doesn't seem so big. Okay, so wanting a house at the age of 19, I thought that was just too big for me to dream and or think about at 19 years old. Okay, so I took more action toward helping myself believe it. And at some point, it just happened. Like, I wrote it out. I went to church. I asked a few people to pray for me. And sometimes this is why it's not good to tell everybody your desires, because I told a few people and they looked at me like, "You're too young for a house. Why don't you get an apartment? That's your first place and it's going to be too much." And I'm like, nothing's too hard for God. Like, that's what y'all teaching me. That's what I believe. Like, nothing is too hard for God. Why can't I have a house? Why do I have to pay somebody else instead of put money in my pocket? I wrote it out. I visualized me moving, and I didn't know I wasn't specific with the house. So I was out there, had my realtor running the streets of Detroit trying to find a house that I did not even visualize yet. I didn't even know how much I wanted to put in a house, meaning did I want to fix up a house or did I want one that was... So once I calmed down, because once a thought entered my mind, I was all go, no breaks. Once I felt like God was saying, yes, you can have it. I can't tell you exactly what that green light feels like, but it was like I started to script it out. I started to say, okay, I see 3 bedrooms. I see hardwood floors. This was a long shot, but I don't know in my price range. Is this going to be possible to have a bathroom in my bedroom? It happened, you guys. It happened. I wrote that out. I got the home, 3 bedrooms, a full bath upstairs, and my room was on the main floor with a half bath. So I wasn't really specific because I could have, and I'm like, if I asked for this, I could have asked for more. So I realized that I was going through phases and stages of my belief and understanding that nothing is too hard to come to you if you believe. Nothing is too big. One thing can come quicker than the other, but the work is you putting that paper to pen or pen to paper and getting to work, writing it out how you see it. That's really the work, because the rest of it is going to come to you. The inspired action is going to come to you how to take those steps. So the next thing that came to me when I had people just saying, you're too young to buy a house, and we're talking over 20 years ago, okay? Oh, I just told my age. That's my story, and I'm telling it. But anyway, so once I realized that I could have whatever I put my mind to and whatever I'm willing to work before. I wrote it out, and I believed, and the next step on my list was find a realtor. The realtor says, hey, you need to find a lender first and come to me with a pre-qualification letter, but I'll help you. So by me going in reverse and getting the realtor first, he was able to help me with the lender, and then the lender helped the realtor. It was like everything just orchestrated perfectly, you guys. I didn't have a furniture the first, okay? But they was like, okay, you need a little bit more credit. You don't have any credit. You have a car, but you need a credit card. So I went to Sears. I was like, this house is not coming with the washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove. I got just enough money to get a refrigerator and stove. I paid on that for a few months, guys, and boom. By the time my refrigerator and stove was being delivered, I was closing on my house at 19 years old. I had help. My sisters helped me. My dad helped me. It was like once they saw I was serious and the wheels were in motion and I wasn't backing down, I wouldn't back down off of that thought. It was other people were saying, you sound crazy. Why would you do that? And you're pregnant. You're about to have a baby. Why would you put yourself under that stress? Because this is my dream. This is my script. I'm going to write this thing the way I want it. I got my house. But once I got in, I kind of got a little lax and didn't believe, you know, I'm like, I got this. I ain't going to ask God for nothing. You know, that's just being lazy, so to speak. So it got to the point where I needed furniture. So it's like, I still took those same steps, and outside the piano came and the dog, and I prayed. This is going to sound crazy. I prayed that my next house is a 4-bedroom, hardwood floor, 2 full bath home, paid off. Paid off. How? 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 I believe I was asking in accordance to God's will, because he said, oh no, man, nothing but to love them. Love, that's it. That's why you should. So I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have that. Okay. So I'm just going, boom. At that time, the economy crashed. I was about to buy a house that was like twice as much as my first house. Everything kept falling through. Everything. My credit was good, but I didn't know that the market was about to crash. And I was able, the money, the down payment that I had to buy my new house, I was able to buy a house cash the way I wanted it, the way I wanted it. And I was able to just release it, believe it, let it go, and receive it. So I'm going to keep this story short. I'm telling you how you can manifest things. It only takes a small bit of faith, but it takes some work on your part. If you can't hold it in your mind and believe it and keep that vision there and practice yourself in that environment, if you desire to be rich, if you can't practice yourself to being rich, meaning once you wake up in the morning, your robe may have holes in it, but practice as if you're putting on a robe that's made by Fendi or whatever big name I may bleep the name out, but practice that. Go through the steps, wait and listen for inspired action, and get everything that your heart desires in this universe. God is good. He has more than enough. There's more than enough to go around. So get yours, honey. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know something that worked out for you that you believed for with all your might and it came. And let me know something that you just wished for, just a thought that crossed your mind and it showed up. Let me know either way. And we're going to talk about this thing a little bit deeper. Thank you again for joining me. Let go and be loved. Be loved to somebody that don't know love, guys. Get out here and show your face and be great. Good vibes to you all.